NBA YoungBoy sales-wise has declined. Okay.
If this nigga was able to go on tours, nobody would even question it.
Ice Spice names. Okay. Have y'all seen this list, chat? We should probably talk about it a little bit, right? So there's a list been floating around. It's called the top 10 fell off rappers list. Yes, this is a thing. The top 10 rappers who fell off. It's been kind of going viral recently. Trying to see. Yeah, and this is the list, right? So the list of the top 10, the top rappers who fell off, and it's
how did YoungBoy fall off? That's it. How did YoungBoy fall off?
Number one, they got Bobby Shmurda. Now we're gonna be objective and we're gonna try to have a discussion about each and every one of them. Did Bobby Shmurda fall off? I think objectionably, if you believe that Bobby Shmurda is not as hot as he used to be, that's kind of clear. Now, I could shoot him some bail. He had some label issues when he first came out. Rock Nation was interfering with Epic. Epic wanted all their return on what they spent on keeping him on the label for all these years, and they gave him a allegedly in advance. And that messy relationship between Rock Nation and Epic led to basically him going independent at the time. And once he got independent, he didn't have a song. The momentum had faded away. He didn't come in what the people wanted. So yeah, fell off. Quando Rondo, did he?
Can you just explain all that for no reason?
It's kind of hard for me to say Quando Rondo fell off when I don't even think Quando Rondo was on like that.
What? This nigga tripping. When that shit, I forgot what it's called, Neighborhood Heroes, some shit like that. When that shit came out, that shit had bangers,
really,
and I know bangers.
Fell off, it would be like from what, right? We remember Quando Rondo selling 3,000 records. We do know him as a rapper. Like, of course, he does his thing, but a fall off usually means that you're at some type of potential peak or potential high, and you're falling off either to mediocrity or you're falling off to irrelevance. And I'm sorry, I just don't think that Quando Rondo has been at that peak that we could say he's fell off. I think he's still working to try to, not necessarily get on, but really make his name as like a superstar. Because this fall off conversation is never for like people who are like, you were surprised they were on to begin with. Not saying that's Quando, but that could fit. Lil Baby, yeah, Lil Baby fell off. Lil Baby just was one of the top 2 rappers, if you ask me. I think there's a good case to be made that if we say right now the top 5 rappers, whether we're talking about skill or we're just talking about people who people are interested in or want music from, I could say Baby might not be in that. Now, did he fall off from top 5 or top 2 to like top 50?
Bro, Baby just need a drop. What's you talking about?
He's fell down.
If he drops something in his heart,
and
he just ain't dropped.
His design, it's all by his, spamming people with the same 2 type of songs. So people got tired of it. Also, some of the narratives.
Nigga said spamming them with the 2 same songs.
Fell off. NBA YoungBoy, has he fell off?
No.
Good question. So let's look at this objectively. NBA YoungBoy sales-wise has declined. Okay.
If this nigga was able to go on tours, nobody would even question it. He's sitting in the crib, still doing numbers, dropping back to back. Like, yo, he just dropped a lot, so a lot of people can't keep up.
Okay, we can blame it on whatever, but we have to admit it has declined. Has the music declined as well? I think it kind of has too. Just in reality, when it comes to just you thinking about NBA YoungBoy and the type of music, I think sometimes people are feeling like it's drowning out and songs aren't sticking out as much. You could have a million excuses for that. He's now on a new label. They don't work it different, work it the same, blah, 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 this and third. Overall, are we going to say NBA YoungBoy fell off? If you said it, I couldn't really give reasons to say he didn't. Does he still have a great fan base, a huge fan base? Yes. Was there a time where people would legitimately say he's in that top 3 or maybe top 4 along with Baby? Absolutely. Would people kind of have that discussion and actually have like an opposing point of view about it this time around? Yeah. Rich Homie Quan absolutely fell off, right? We don't have to do too much about it. And we're talking about him from 2015 till now. I think he was about to get back on, but I don't know what happened. I think it's because Young Thug and the Cleveland Ave goons kind of either had him terrified or that video leaked of him talking to the police officer, and people started looking at him if he was a cooperator. Keep in mind, he's the person who was being managed by Donovan Thomas, which is one of the main reasons why Sellers in court. And because of that, he's always been in a weird spot because the guy who allegedly got killed by the other person he used to work with, or his gang, you used to be cool with like pretty much both of them, and you're not like the preferred person in this situation. Also, you're not in these gangs that Young Thug's in. Okay, Lil Pump. I think Lil Pump would admit that, again, are we talking about fell off like how J. Cole said he was going to go broke, sell his home, this and third? No. Are we talking about musically, if Lil Pump records a single right now and puts it out, we probably, like, it might even go without getting posted on a blog. Like, people are just not that excited to hear Lil Pump music, so if we're going by that metric, that people used to at least give it a look. Now people don't want to give it a look. Yeah. Okay, all right. So ironically, look like the only person I'm defending really so far is like Quando, right? Okay, Designer. I think that's kind of self-explanatory as well. Yeah, the Designer absolutely, he took his foot off the ball. There was a time that he was being compared to Future. These days, he's been compared to sexual predators, unfortunately. He was jerking off on the plane, this and third. The Baby. Did the Baby fall off? I'm actually going to say no. I think the Baby did fall off. I think the Baby leveled out.
I ain't gonna lie, that shit crazy. Cause I really thought when that LGBTQ shit happened, that boy was over with, but that boy came back. He be doing hella remixes. His remixes be hard to me.
Yes, he did. You could have said he fell off during that whole LGBTQ situation. Things were a little bit slow for him, but I gotta be honest. When it came to the Baby, over the last like couple of months, whether he have like I don't want to dance like a boom, like he's had
like that shit hard. I ain't gonna lie.
He's been popping up
like for
verses,
TikTok.
Like he's more seeming consistent right now than actually someone who fell off. So I'm gonna actually take him off the list. Roddy Ricch.
I like it for Roddy Ricch to come back. He just need to drop again and drop some hard shit.
Trying to answer the Roddy Ricch question, because are people just not fucking with his music anymore, or is his music just not hitting, right? Or, some people believe it was his attitude towards the success he got, or maybe thinking that he had it made because he had a song like The Box. That's why he never kept his foot on the gas, or whatever the case is. But you have to remember, there was a time that we really legitimately thought he was one of the heavyweights in music. And not saying he's completely irrelevant, but things have cooled a bit. It's cooled a bit, definitely, right? And he's even admitted that a couple times. I think every time you hear him talk now, he's talking about getting back into the dedication of the grind and everything else that got him.
He made too much money. And, I hope that don't happen to me, y'all boys. Don't let that happen to me.
Meek Mill. Just got to speak objectionally. Yeah. Meek, who sold 250 copies or 250,000 copies in 2018. Someone who, whether it was championships or other records afterwards, just was a guy who always stayed with a big hit song. The only thing I would disagree with Meek is if we're really ranking these people, Meek ain't 10. Like, Meek would be probably like 3. You know what I mean? I'm sorry. Meek used to be on a very short list of main rappers. Like, he was almost seen in the spot, again, not as Lil Baby, but seen in the spot where Baby was at for a slight second a couple times in history. And then it looked like he always fell completely out of the conversation, which was always kind of crazy. You know what I mean? He always fell completely out of the conversation.
I don't know. Ever since that Meek Mill versus Drake shit, that nigga ain't been the same to me.